Alright, we're on. It's rolling. Okay. Is it too far away? Hi! So welcome to my channel, and this is a senior review of St. John's College, and today I have Louise.
I'm Gabi.
Tommy.
I asked people to give us questions. Actually, let's start off with what's our plans after graduation now that we graduate.
Oh my god.
I'm taking a gap year and then I'll go to grad school.
Right now, I'm still working in admissions for a little bit, but that's just for the summer. I don't know what I'm gonna do this upcoming year, but eventually I hope to go to grad school for either comparative literature or library sciences.
I guess I'm taking a gap year.
Yeah, I'm still looking for jobs.
Yeah, so
The economy is not well.
Depressing.
okay, so the first question is kind of related. Was it hard to make yourself appealing to grad programs? I guess I'm the only one who... Tom, did you apply to a grad program?
Well, I try to explain to them our degree is relevant to political science, international relations, and obviously the Swiss didn't buy that. So
Yeah, he tried to apply to a grad school in Switzerland and didn't work out. For me, when I was applying, it wasn't that hard. They honestly just kind of look at your GPA and your essay. So no, it's not that hard. Unless you're applying for something in physics or very specified, I think. It's not that hard. Did you get to steal Johnny chairs?
Why would you want to?
No.
After sitting in those chairs for 4 years,
No.
I don't want to sit in them
it's not
anymore.
stealing, borrowing.
So the next question is, how do you decide what topic or book to write about on essays? I guess we can first share what we wrote on each.
I wrote on Baudelaire the poem called The Swan. I don't know, I just chose the one that I liked the most, enjoyed reading, or something that I would like to figure out. Because I've never wrote on poem before, and it was a challenge for me to write on the poem, a French one.
I wrote on Kepler's Astronomia Nova. I really liked the sophomore math section of Kepler, so I decided I wanted to write on that. I actually never written on math before this year for annual essay, so it was quite a challenge for me as well. Yeah, I just chose it because I liked it. That's all.
I chose to write on War and Peace. When I was deciding on what to write about, I was trying to decide between Tocqueville's Democracy in America and War and Peace. Obviously, I chose the latter. I guess what drove me to write about that was, it kind of has an atypical structure. Most novels don't have these little interludes of historical analysis and so I kind of wanted to answer the question why is this novel structured this way? Tom?
I wrote Machiavelli's Prince. It was just more there's a personal question relating with the book that I'm always struggling with. Conflicting definitions and examples cited by Machiavelli, so really my essay was about digging deeper into the example and kind of trying to figure out what Machiavelli is trying to say.
So that was how we chose our topic and book. The next question is, what do you think that we should know about the senior essay from your perspective?
I'd say the writing process isn't that different from any other St. John's paper. Obviously, a St. John's paper is sort of different from a regular college paper, but utilize your time well. I think it helps to stay on campus and to have an advisor that really keeps you on a strict schedule. If you're looking for an advisor, pick one that's gonna keep you on a schedule.
Yeah, no one here tried to procrastinate us in the last week.
Yeah, no one here did that. Well, you didn't.
But I think that's the biggest difference, right? You do have an advisor, which periodically you kind of have to like check in with them and like send your draft and check, and you don't really have that with the other. It's much different. Like the advisor, you have a much deeper relationship with them throughout the process. A lot of the other times, like the language tutor is just giving you more like structural advices. This one, like ideally, you're choosing a tutor. Well, in cases, right, the tutor is also selecting which students are advising, right? They want to be advising students where they're comfortable with the topic as well, so they have more knowledge. So they're also guiding you in terms of not just the structure, but also their thoughts and idea. I think that's slightly different.
Yeah, I mean, you'd prefer to have an advisor that's very familiar, maybe even an expert in your topic or like the author that you're writing on.
Yeah, I think it's either they're an expert or like you have personal relationship with them where you know them, so you're comfortable like sharing your ideas with them.
Or they're willing to learn. I mean, my advisor read books that I use for my essays that's not on the program. He read them.
I feel like, I mean, just adding, I feel like people get scared because it's like a senior essay. It's like the most important. But my advisor was like, just treat it as like other essays and don't get scared of it.
It's about the essay, not about the advisor. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like what makes an essay work is you write the essay. And I will also say the essay is worth 3 credits, just so you know. So if you've been writing your freshman, sophomore, junior essay really bad, please work on this one at least. Put more effort into it. So the next question is, how was dorm life? So I only lived in dorm like half of my freshman year, and then COVID hit. Sophomore year, I was back home. And junior year, I lived mostly off campus, and so did senior year. So I don't have much to say on dorm life, actually.
Yeah, I think all of us struggled or maybe have less experience with dorm life than the typical student just because of COVID. I've lived on campus during summers and also like on the Santa Fe campus and in Annapolis, so I feel like I can say it was a pretty good experience. Freshman year, I was at the Santa Fe campus, and I'll say they have a lot more space on the Santa Fe campus for housing. So I was able to have a single my freshman year, which was really nice. Sophomore year, I lived off campus, but yeah. And then junior year, I moved to the Annapolis campus. And I'd say it really depends on which dorm you're in Annapolis. I lived in what we call the suburbs, which are some of the nicer dorms on campus because they have their own laundry units, like kitchenettes and stuff.
That's a standard.
Yeah, they have
Nice
kitchenettes. And they have more common areas. So. And plus they have ACE and everything. So honestly, I had a good housing experience, except for end of junior year, because they decided to kick me out of my dorm like halfway through the year and sent me to live in Pinckney, which I like hated living in Pinckney because I was on the 4th floor, no elevator, no AC, mold growing in the rooms. So.
The fun part was they kicked us out and they never used those rooms.
Yeah, they didn't even use those rooms for quarantining students. But yeah, so if you're going to be on the Annapolis campus, I guess just try and get housing in Gilliam or Specter, I suppose.
Or like the newly renovated Randall.
Yeah, and newly renovated Pinckney is really nice too. The first floors, like that's pretty nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
They'll be watching by the time they come here. Will be like renovated Campbell.
Yeah.
No, I really didn't like my dorm life.
I love dorm. I live on campus.
No,
like
it was just,
every
I
year.
lived in Paca, and then the common room was just gross.
Yeah, Paca's like a hit or miss, I think. Like some of the rooms in Paca are really nice, and then, well, I wouldn't like the restrooms. But I choose to live like on campus. all 4 years if I could.
Really?
I would have done that if I could have, like all 4 years.
I did that.
I think it's very convenient. I think it's very convenient.
I don't know.
No, I think everyone should live on campus. So
Yeah, it's a nice community.
change the rules. They should build more dorms. And
Wait, the thing is, like, I didn't like living on campus because you need to be on the meal plan. Unless you get, like, a medical doctor's note. And the meal plan is so expensive.
yeah, the meal plan is not bad in terms of like you really don't have to worry about buying groceries.
Yeah.
You show up, you eat, you don't have to clean. Like it's expensive. Besides that, there's nothing really wrong with the meal plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can, just try and switch to the 14 meal plan because you're not going to be eating all 3 meals every day in the dining hall. The food's fine though. The food's
What do you mean
fine.
ideally?
I mean, like ideally, like if you have like the chance to.
You should eat every day. It's just that people.
Well, you want to like eat out and like have like some off-campus life, like I don't know, whatever. I think it's good for breakfast and lunch,
Oh yeah, breakfast is really good in the dining hall.
especially when they have like the crate bar or the omelet bar or the pasta bar.
Yeah, the dining hall is actually not that bad compared to other colleges that I've been to. So,
Really?
yeah.
They've
Yeah.
improved because of me.
People complain about it a lot, but honestly, I don't know if everyone just went to private school or something, but like it's a lot better than the food I had in high school. So I'm not complaining.
In private schools, food is not that good either.
So the next question is, if you could change something about your time there, what would it be?
I guess I wouldn't have done my first 2 years in Santa Fe. It just wasn't the right fit for me, I think. And, you know, I still met a lot of people that I like in Santa Fe, so I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't change anything. I will say I wish I put more effort into my lab and math classes because, you know, I needed to improve in those classes and,
I think if I could change something, that would be like, I wish I knew more earlier that speaking up is really important. Or just that, like, nobody knows what they're saying. I hope I knew that earlier so that, like, I could participate in class more because, like, in freshman year, I felt like everyone's so smart, like, they know what they're talking about, and I don't. But I think over the 4 years, I realized, oh, nobody knows what they're talking about. So why not just chime into the conversation?
yeah, and really, I think in class, like, probably like the most helpful thing to do is just like build habits of speaking like in class every day. Because I think that's where I really went wrong with like my math and lab classes. It's like you stay silent for a bit and then that sort of becomes like habitual and it becomes harder and harder to try and speak, like, because then it feels like there's more pressure for you to speak. And yeah, you really don't need to say much of substance. People don't say stuff that has any substance all the time.
You should have called people's BS on more.
Yeah, tutors love that. Tutors love it when you correct people or start a little like controversy in class.
Yeah. I did that in math a few times.
Wish COVID didn't happen.
I wish COVID didn't happen. That's the number one thing I wish. I wish that I took a year off because for me, I think that really hurt. Like I think I did better freshman year and then sophomore year, I sort of lost all the good habits that I had built up freshman year. So I wish I took a year off during COVID.
Actually, COVID was the year when I learned how to speak up because everyone else was silent during Zoom classes. So I just had tons of opportunity to talk. And I got to stay home and like eat all the good foods back home. So I'm not complaining much about COVID.
Zoom classes when I become practically blind, my vision.
I think I wish if I joined the sailing or crew club because it's not common for all the colleges to have creek, but I just couldn't swim. I can't do jellyfish in dirty water.
So if you want to join the sailing or the crew team, you need to swim in the college creek which is not the best water you want to swim in because it has a tons of jellyfish during the period where they do the swim test. I have to swim in that because I was a part of crew team. It was not pleasant, but you don't die at the very least. What would you say to your freshman self?
I don't know. So last time I'm sure you're in DC.
I would say the opposite for me. I said I would have told myself to get like more involved with like intramurals and like clubs and activities on campus.
Oh, I'll tell myself St. John's classes will be hard, but you'll get through it. Yeah, I'll tell myself that.
I think it's just similar with Gabi, just more club activities, I guess. Yeah, I really wanted a crew, but oops.
I'll add, try to just enjoy every moment. I think freshman year, sometimes people are like drifting off, looking forward to the upcoming years, like sophomore, junior, senior. But then when you get to become like a junior, senior, you look back and like, oh, some of the best readings were in freshman year. I mean, I guess you could make the point with every year. I think that's why I just enjoy every moment, every year. It has its own uniqueness and charm, and try to compare with other times, and you really can't compare. Like, you just really have to like take full advantage of every moment.
I was gonna add on to that, but I don't know what I was gonna add on to that. So yeah. So the next question is, where do most students go for spring break? That varies a lot.
I think most people go home. Go home or go on vacation. You're not really allowed to stay on campus unless you're like an international student or you have special accommodations and you have to pay extra.
Yeah.
I thought that was only for winter breaks.
No,
You can do that for spring break too.
No, I meant like, I think if you wanted to stay during spring break, almost everyone could stay for spring break.
You still need to pay.
Yeah, you still
I
need to pay.
I thought the Christmas break was
Yeah.
a big one that you need special accommodation reason in order to stay.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even for spring break, I think they try to get everyone off campus, but they charge a lot for staying on campus.
It's actually cheap since it's just a cleaning fee. The winter one's expensive one. They charge by a week.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I did freshman year spring break trying to go on vacation and then get ruined by COVID. Sophomore year, we didn't have spring break.
Yeah.
We had an extra reading resting day, which I don't think is comparable to a spring break.
Yeah, we had like a long weekend or something.
It was an extra day during the middle of the week. It was like a Wednesday off. And then junior year, I went on a pilgrimage. And the senior year, decided to stay on campus just because we're graduating. I want to be in Annapolis a little longer.
Yeah, I think freshman year, because I'm an international student, I wasn't planning to go back to China, so I went to Colorado to visit a friend, and then I stayed in Annapolis for the rest of the spring break. Sophomore year, I was back home. There wasn't spring break. Junior year, I went to New York for a few days, and then stayed on campus for the remaining. This year, I went to Korea to visit my family because that was the only time I could go and visit my family. So yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
I went to Orlando this year, but I don't remember what I did.
I remember you went to Universal Studios.
I know, that was this year.
That was this year.
But I don't remember my freshman.
Oh.
What did I do?
Yeah,
I definitely didn't stay here.
You stayed here.
Did I?
Yeah, because
What did I do?
I got back from Colorado, and like I was like, "Do you want to go get groceries?" And you were still
Really?
awake, so we went to Growls, and I got bread.
I feel like Louise is never on
Yeah.
campus. Louise is
I
always
definitely
traveling.
went somewhere. But I don't remember.
Even on weekends, you're always like in DC or somewhere.
Or New York or wherever.
Everyone thinks that I'm always somewhere.
Where did you go for a spring break last spring break? You definitely went somewhere.
Like junior spring break.
Did
Yeah.
you go to New York?
Check your stories.
No, she didn't go to New York because I was in New York.
Well,
and she wasn't there.
right. I didn't go to New York.
You're always going.
She was somewhere.
Yeah, she was somewhere.
Yeah, but yeah, it differs for everyone. Usually people just go home, honestly.
Yeah.
But if you're an international student, take advantage of that time and travel, I would say. I don't know if we want to answer this. This is how much debt are you in?
I would say I have a loan.
I also have a little loan.
Yeah, I have a loan, but I'll say I had better financial aid when I was in Santa Fe. And then in
Financial aid when you come
well,
here?
yeah, Santa Fe has more money to give for financial aid because they have fewer students on the Santa Fe campus. So they cut my financial aid by quite a bit when I moved to Annapolis, even though I still needed it. But I don't have too much, but it's still more than I'd like to have.
Do you have any?
I had a scholarship,
Oh.
and then my parents helped pay the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, St. John's isn't cheap, but I feel like compared to some other private college, it is cheap.
And I'll say another thing too is even if you don't I didn't apply for any scholarships when I came here, but when you're applying to St. John's, you're automatically put up for certain scholarships. So I didn't even realize that I was going to get some of the scholarships that I did get. Plus, if you do summer academy, during high school or something like that, you get a small scholarship for every year that you did summer academy. So, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I wish I knew this in freshman year, but you can appeal for your scholarships.
Yeah, always do that. Always
Yeah.
do that. I've done that every single year.
Always ask for more, and
I tried and wouldn't let me.
because
but
maybe
just-
you didn't need that.
Maybe you're well off.
There's nothing to do with you can't appeal the scholarship. You can appeal the grant.
Oh, you can.
yeah, no,
you can
that's
appeal the financial aid.
The scholarship.
Oh, so, yeah, I meant the financial aid.
Rose meant.
Wait, what's the financial aid called for international students?
It's also
website.
the CS.
CSS profile.
Because for how much work I do for this college, this is basically paying me.
Honestly,
Tom, you volunteered for those positions.
yeah, he was working as a DC president.
Yeah, our delegate council president right here.
Cool.
I just told him I'm certified lifeguard.
I think it's
You're a certified lifeguard?
Yeah.
For real, or you're just kidding?
Actually for real.
Okay,
Really?
Tom.
In the US?
Yeah. Except my cert is it's overdue, but
If you fall into the water, you have to swim against the current and stuff.
That does happen. Yeah, but I think that brings my survivor instincts.
But yeah, back to the financial aid and scholarship. If you're getting financial aid, you can definitely appeal. But if you're getting a scholarship that's based on your grades or something, yeah, you can't really appeal for that. So, yeah.
But I would say people should go for, especially international students, go for private schools because they're more generous. I didn't know that because a lot of schools, we all know public schools over there, but they don't give anything.
They give nothing.
International students, especially.
Some people come here with more of a background in philosophy or the classics or stuff like that. I mean, maybe at first, freshman year, you kind of refer to them a guide in class or something like that. But I think it becomes pretty obvious by senior year who's gotten their education in Reddit discourse, and who all these people will be I'm so excited for and they come to class acting like they already understand everything about Hegel or everything like that. Very obvious they got all their information from Reddit or Twitter or some stupid podcasts.
Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, don't fall into those traps of like letting these people control your conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty sad. Like, I think by senior year, people will learn how to speak and talk in classes, but that's actually not the case. And I think that was really disappointing for me in senior year when I realized that. So, yeah, don't let those people control your education, if that makes sense.
Because St. John's, more than most places, is like a place where, you know, your grade, or not your grade, but what you get out of school, it is more impacted by the rest of the students in your class. Everything here is based off of participation and the way the conversation moves. Like, if you're not finding it fruitful, pivot the discussion.
Yeah, and if you try doing that and you're still not finding it helpful, go talk to the tutor, the class, and actually voice your unsatisfaction, because that might help, that might not. If it doesn't, honestly, good luck.
And another thing too, though, is that like at St. John's, they really like frown upon like switching out of your classes, and I think that's something really important to know. You can't be asking to switch out of your classes every single year.
I guess, yeah, the big difference, you just need to have the courage to be like the dumb one in class and ask the questions and you know, help everyone, you know, learn about the materials together.
But about switching class, I would say, like, if the class is really not working out for you, don't be afraid to ask to switch the class and be bold about it. Because my senior year, I had to switch out of my, like, one of the seminars, and it took me a long time to actually switch out. It improved so much more. I was able to enjoy my seminars so much more, the reading so much more. So if it's not working out for you, then switch. But I would say don't just switch out because you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Oh, Gabi, did you mention that you switched out of class?
That was not the only reason, though.
Yeah,
That class was just bad. It was bad. No one wants to say.
No, for both of you, my junior math, my senior language, I should have switched out those classes. I just didn't. I just kind of hang in there.
So if you're a good student who like does all your work, you will get frustrated at St. John's because you'll see like other people who don't do their work getting better grades, getting more recognition because they just talk more. And unfortunately,
Yeah, what does it even mean to be a good student in this college?
yeah, like just doing your work doesn't mean like you're a good student, whatever that is. What you did in high school is not going to work at St. John's.
okay, let's talk more about like the social aspects of St. John. Talking about the social aspects of St. John.
Do not date a Johnny.
No,
There's no documented.
no, I mean, well, you
Okay,
can
found
date
one.
Johnnies.
Still get your core mates. I think that's
Yeah, don't get your core mates.
That's like, no, that's really
that's-
bad.
Because there has been so many incidents where like they broke up and they have to be in the same, all of the same classes the remaining year, and that sucks. So do not date your core mate. Just wait another year until like you guys are in the core. Yeah. Did you guys like the social aspect of St. John's? Like just like making friends and stuff. I personally did not.
I mean, in Santa Fe, the big difference between the two campuses, culturally, it's pretty much like the same school. You'll still find the same people on both campuses. I think like the biggest difference probably is, I think in Annapolis, you find like a more temperate sort of student in that like in Santa Fe, I think everyone's varied between like everyone's on two like polar opposite, like the students are either super like academically inclined, they're like a lot of room Johnnies in the Santa Fe campus, and then the other half is like they're partying like any chance they get, and you don't really catch them doing work. Meanwhile, I think in Annapolis, it's a lot of people who kind of like are somewhere in the middle. You know, they'll go out to parties and like go to waltzes and stuff like that, but then they'll still have time for their schoolwork. They'll still kind of, maybe they're not the most serious students, but they're still doing their work. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Annapolis campus is also easier socially for generally, I'd say anyone, because you know, if you need some space from people, it's a lot easier to avoid people on the Annapolis campus, I find. Just because you know, you can go off campus, like hang out at like different restaurants, different bars. You don't always have to be on campus all the time. Meanwhile, in Santa Fe, it's a lot harder to escape the social scene. It feels more claustrophobic, I think.
Yeah, even Annapolis can feel claustrophobic sometimes. Annapolis campus is really white. I know, like this.
That's like both campuses.
But like I know, like everyone here, no one here is white, but like it is like a very white campus.
It's white in the middle.
Yeah. What do you mean? There's no white people in this?
I'll like put like a Mexican flag on, half Mexican.
Yeah, both campuses are very white.
International students one of the highest percentages.
Well, yeah, we've got a lot of international students. That doesn't show up in like general like diversity numbers because that's like counted differently for some reason. Yeah, it can be kind of uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll cut this out, but like I had a tutor tell me that, yeah, a tutor said, oh, like your math should be so good because you went to a Chinese public school. I did not go to a Chinese public school, but on this channel, so.
That same tutor keep calling me Chinese. I've been making corrections all the time.
But yeah, I also had a tutor where like anytime a Chinese or like an international student, usually Asian student, does a translation, they'll respond by saying, how can we translate this in like normal English? And sometimes, yeah, you'll meet certain tutors. They're not maliciously intended usually. When I went to assistant dean, he actually told me to sit down with the tutors and talk about it, which I personally would never do, but you can do whatever you want if you run into those kind of problems.
For the most part, the student body in Annapolis like is more like spiritual in some respect. Like there are a lot more churchgoers here. There's like a whole like club for the Jewish students on campus and
Orthodox.
Yeah, the Orthodox Catholic fellowship thing and the Christian fellowship and that.
We even had a pagan.
So we have a Catholic. We had a Catholic Orthodox fellowship on the Annapolis campus, a Christian fellowship. There's a club for the Jewish students here on campus, and we even had a pagan club.
I think freshman year, you don't get a lot of leadership opportunities. I mean, you can like start clubs and stuff, and because the school is so small, like you have a lot of resources to that. But I think as you start becoming sophomores and juniors, take advantage and take the leadership positions. Please do them well, I would say. Don't be a crappy leader or club archon, but you just get so much opportunity to do things that you actually like. Like Tom started a polo club, and you're not gonna find that anywhere. And I started a baking club, and Louise was in charge of the Pangea, which is like the international students club. So yeah, just get involved. You get a lot of opportunities to do that.
Also, like, talk to your tutors. I mean, it's not at every like campus or at every like university where you really have the opportunity to build like very close relationships with your tutor. Tom's great at it. He's friends with like every tutor on campus.
Even the assistant dean and the dean.
And at St.John's, you really get the chance to like talk to your tutors, like God, you know, like.
You don't have to kiss ass and have a nice relationship.
Yeah, you don't have to kiss ass, but
you don't have to be that bad student.
Yeah. And tutors love to even just like disagree, like have fun little chats.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the tutors actually really care about your education and your experience here. And I think a lot of the times where I was having trouble at St. John's, they were the ones who really helped me to like keep going and gave me advice and encouragements. And yeah, also they're just so available for you. You can literally just ask them out for coffee, or you can go to a dining hall, take them out for lunch, and the school pays for it. So really use those opportunities and get to know these tutors and like just talk with them. They're really smart. they know so much, yet they're here at this small college being tutored. So yeah, definitely get to know them.
Maybe, well, I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but like the political aspects of St. John's.
I thought this was gonna be like a freaking hippie liberal school.
And then we start going through the program, which obviously is dominated by primarily white male authors.
It's a different kind of conservative. It's not the traditional thought of liberal versus conservative. It's a different.
Yeah.
It's a what's the term I forgot? It's like it has something tied with the classics in academia.
Generally, at St. John's, it's not an alt-right type school.
They call it the imaginative conservative.
Yeah, I would say as an international student coming from China and with an Asian background, I felt like the school was very liberal. It was, you meet so many different people here. You meet people who have so many different political point of views, and yeah, in that aspect, I would say it's I feel like it's more liberal, but you do have very conservative people here as well. I think the books that we read kind of attracts people who has conservative political views. Yeah, so the political scene here is really
Well, yeah, it's very varied.
Yeah.
It's very diverse, and I don't think anyone really comes to St. John's or leaves St. John's with the same ideas that they came to St. John's with. I think you learn to appreciate other points of views.
and if you don't, then there's something wrong with the way you spent your 4 years.
Well, yeah, and classes can be extremely difficult for you if you can't learn to appreciate or understand where other people are coming from. I don't think St. John's is a place where you're supposed to come in with your preconceived notions of all these books and what's right and what's wrong. You're really supposed to let everything sort of exist in a question.
Yes, as we wrap up, any final thoughts? He's been hours and half quiet. I swear he's not this quiet.
We were just talking before he came. We were okay, we're gonna have to tell him to shut up. We're gonna have to cut it.
I don't talk that much. I've never talked that much.
I mean, he doesn't talk that much in seminar. But
In seminar, Tom is insane. This man will be sleeping in class. No, he's sleeping in class, and then I'll wake up and have a revelation, go back to sleep. And what's funny is that everything he says is probably more thought out than anyone else, or at least. I don't know. I guess also St. John's is just filled with freaks. Not John, not Tom.
he's probably the most normal person. And Louise.
That just makes us freaks.
Yeah, St. John's kind of attracts weird people because of the program. So you'll meet really different people, and yeah, it's gonna be an experience. You'll come out of St. John's most likely a little disillusioned and a little damaged, but that's okay because that's life.
You'll miss this place. You'll really miss this place.
Yeah, no, I'll really miss this place. I think I loved my time here at St. John's, and
I wish I could do all 4 years again.
I know, me too. I really wish I could do all 4 years.
You guys can start over in Santa Fe.
I'd say my biggest piece of advice is to just really have a lot of fun with your papers and have a lot of fun with your readings. So much of the work does get done on your own, and just meditating and reflecting on the readings by yourself. Obviously, you get so much out of class and everything. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a great opportunity to get to know yourself. I think I have a much better idea of who I am, my opinions, where my values and principles lie, and I'm a lot more self-observant, I think, and very mindful, or a lot more than I was before.
Yeah, I think I definitely grown, like matured a lot through St. John's, and not just like academically. Yes, I've read like Plato and Kant and Hegel, even though I don't remember anything from it anymore. I've heard all those kind of like life skills that I've learned and like how to, I don't know, it's just like you learn a lot from this place. And the card memory is also up with this one, so I guess we're cutting off.
We're like done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.